Hey everybody, Troa here, back for another episode of World of Warships, and in case I decide to go ahead and put this at the beginning of the video, there's going to be two introductions, because, well, I just do things that way, and I'm not used to doing it this way. But I figured that it might be a good idea to go ahead and put the actual ship modules, the way I have it configured, my captain, how I would configure my captain for this ship, and everything in case you guys wanted to go ahead and use it. So that way you would have a in-game way of preparing your ship, and so you can kind of see the thought processes and everything else like that. Alrighty guys, so what we're going to do first is we're going to go over the modules. Now, on this one you can get a whole list of upgrades first. Now the range upgrade is rather important, gives you that 10% extra range, and the range on this ship, after it's all said and done, is 8.6, but if I go ahead and mount the original, it's 7.8, which isn't really that good. It's not too much further out from your actual torpedo range of 5 kilometers stock at 5.5 after upgrading. And that you're a gunboat. You kind of want to be shooting at people, setting them on fire, providing smoke for your team, staying in that smoke yourself and firing and then ambushing people behind islands. So I think really the first and most important upgrade to get on the Clemson is the hull upgrade, because it does add, as you can see, survivability. It gives you some health, some artillery, because whatever reason, the torpedoes, yeah, because again I have that, and it also gives you the maneuverability, right? Because that brings it down to a rudder shift time of 4.1 seconds, which is essential in a knife fight with DDs. So the first thing, as this all-American destroyers really excel at destroyer-on-destroyer combat, as you will see or have seen in the video, that is something that definitely comes up, and it's kind of the party trick, if you will, of American destroyers in general, is that they're very good against other destroyers, which makes them very useful, especially in higher tier games, as battleships will not push forward unless the destroyers are dealt with. So first upgrade for me is definitely going to be the hull upgrade. After that, get the gun upgrade, because it literally gives you an extra gun. It literally doubles your firepower. So instead of single barrel turrets, you get double barrel turrets, and that is just a huge deal. So yeah, it says it only gives you a little bit, but it's a lie. It's a lie. You get double the barrels, double the fun. After that, I'd get the range upgrade, then I would upgrade your torpedo. So yeah. After that, as far as the upgrades are concerned, I get main armament mod 1, because you don't want to lose a gun, you don't want to lose your torpedo tubes, especially when you're getting shot at, because that's generally when you use them. And then as far as the second upgrade, I get propulsion modification 1, because, well, engines on destroyers go out all the time. That's pretty much the first module to go out if you get hit, and it can happen from high explosive or armor piercing, it doesn't really matter. So I get this one on pretty much every destroyer. As far as the ammunition and consumables, what I do here now, not in the video, is I use premium consumables on all three. And the reason for that is A, it gives you a shorter cooldown, and B, because it gives you more charges. In the case of the smoke generator, instead of 2, I would get 3. And until I have Superintendent, which gives you an extra charge, that's a big deal. So getting the premium consumables is a big deal. Now, what you can do, so this is the thing a lot of people don't know, is if normally it would be the gold cost, right, which is on sale right now because it's during Thanksgiving. But normally you click on that, it tells you it's going to cost gold, and people freak out and don't do it. Well, there's a little drop down, and you can select silver as the currency at which you refill these, and that's how you can use premium consumables. Now, at low tiers, really, you only want to be doing this on exceptional ships like the Clemson. But at higher tiers, starting at really tier 6, tier 7, you want to consider using premium consumables anyway, because it gives you such a huge advantage, and everybody else is basically going to be using them. So in order to compete, you should be using premium consumables. Definitely at tier 8 and onwards, you should be using premium consumables. But up until that point, it's a matter of discretion. And then I also have it to where it's auto resupplying. And I've enabled that, so I don't have to worry about that again. As far as the exterior is concerned, I don't run any flags on this one because I've already got it upgraded. I've already got the Nicholas. But you could run the fire flags, India X-Ray, and Victor Lima. And because you're using one that gives you an added chance of detonation, I'd run the Juliet Charlie. to mitigate your risk of a magazine detonation. Speed flag is also something you might want to consider, because a little extra speed is a nice thing. But that's really it. Again, because you are seal clubbing though, maybe a Zulu flag to get more credits. But tier 4, I think tier 5 and 6 and 7 is really the sweet spot for making money. But that's me. As far as camouflage is concerned, you can use the type 1, which just decreases your detectability, but because you don't want to get hit, I like using the third camouflage, the type 5, because it's like 22,500 coins to replace every match. So it does have a resupply cost that is not gold, and it lowers your detectability and increases the dispersion of shells fired at you. So that's the camouflage that I use on this ship. And hey, it looks better too, because that looks like crap. But anywho, that's really it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if I've decided to put this before the actual replay, then yeah, I hope you enjoyed the replay. But anyway, guys, that's it. Oh, actually, no, it's not quite it. Sorry. All right. Before we go any further, we're going to go into captain skills. So the first one I have is secondary armament. Because the shells on this one are below 139 millimeters, they get the added reload time, and also it bolsters your anti-air, which anti-air is actually a thing on American destroyers later on, so that's not a bad skill to have. You can, on the second rung, get expert marksman, because those knife fights and you want to be maneuvering and everything else like that, but the American turrets turn pretty fast anyway. Torpedo armament expertise is also a good option, but for me, I like last stand, because you never want to be dead in the water against another destroyer, especially. Yeah, granted, you might, if you get hit by maybe a cruiser like 5 kilometers away, you can pop smoke and then, make your escape. But against a destroyer, they're so close that they're going to detect you by proximity. Anyway, you don't want to be caught out without your engine or rudder in a situation where there's torpedoes being fired at you at point-blank range against a destroyer that is going to detect you. So last stand is where I go with on this one. For the third skill, I like to get superintendent, but vigilance is also a good option, because again, you're knife fighting and being able to see torpedoes the moment they hit the water instead of when they're right next to you is a good thing. So on this one, I like to get superintendent, because an extra charge of smoke when you're a gunboat, providing smoke for your team and firing from within smoke, it's kind of a big deal. Moving to the fourth slot, the one I like to get is advanced firing training, again because the guns are smaller than 139 millimeters, and also because it further bolsters your anti-air, which, for a destroyer is okay. It's still a destroyer anti-air, but really it's that added range for your main guns. Now you can go with demolition expert, but again, that's another thing entirely. For the fifth, if you get the fifth, it would be concealment expert. If you do not get the fifth, it would be demolition expert on top of advanced firing training. But concealment expert is also a good thing. So obviously I don't have that, but I know through experience that this is the way things go. As far as after that, you have 3 points to work with. You can go for ship survivability and then torpedo armament, or something along those lines. Incoming fire, maybe. Artillery, maybe. But really, those are the two that I would go with. It would be ship survivability and torpedo armament. Now, a lot of people also like to get survivability expert on destroyers. It really depends on how much of a knife fighter you are. On American destroyers especially, that's a big deal. But I like the gunboat approach more, so that's why I go with AFT. And demolition expert, again, for that gunboat mentality. I do like that about American destroyers. So, again, it's mix and match on the fourth slot. Fifth slot is optional if you want to get 2 of the 4 slots. And then at that point you can get a third one, which would be vigilance. Hey everybody, Troa here, back for another episode of World of Warships. And here we're going ahead and be in the Tier 4 American destroyer, the Clemson. Now, for those of you who play this game and know anything about it, the Clemson is considered one of those dirty seal clubbers. One of those ships that can, in the right hands, perform very, very well for its tier. And because it's a low tier, it's considered a seal clubber because of that. Now in this current actual gameplay footage, I don't have any of the captain skills. I had assigned a new commander to this after I moved it to the Nicholas. And this is actually the first match I've played thus with a new captain. Now, the modules on this thing are all upgraded, and I have all the actual upgrade slots filled. And I'm going to go ahead and show that, actually. I haven't decided yet if it's at the beginning or the end of this video, but you'll see it at some point. But anywho, so what I'm doing right here is I'm deciding to go ahead and use the strength of the Clemson, which is, well, all early tier American destroyers, and some of the Russian ones even, of being an ambush predator. Now, that means you have to put yourself out in some weird spots and near cover. And I'm looking over there to the right and I see that emerald and I'm like, nope. Nope, not going anywhere near that, because British cruisers annihilate destroyers, so I don't want anything to do with that if I can help it. I mean, all cruisers annihilate destroyers, but British ones do an exceptional amount of damage. So I'm moving over here because I figure that the enemy aircraft carrier is likely going to be sending planes to my right, down on the southeast portion of the map, and over here on the west I should remain undetected by planes. I'm coming up here, I see Wyoming and a Phoenix. The Phoenix is dangerous, but I can deal with the Phoenix over the British cruiser, especially when it's already taken a hit. The Kuma, well, one at a time I should be fine. I do see the enemy aircraft carrier's torpedo bombers, though, and that has me worried because I picked this spot specifically to avoid his planes. And he's definitely getting closer. So I decide to get behind cover and wait for my chance, and that's when the two enemy destroyers pop up, a Gnevny and a Clemson. I'm like, oh, dang it. Okay. Well, I'm considering bailing. At this moment, I am considering getting out of here. And I decide, I'll just try my luck. We'll see. I've got an ambush coming up. Maybe I can hit this guy and take off. I don't know. We'll see. I quite like American destroyers over, I like the Japanese ones, but right now, before the rework anyway, they're doing it to where the Matsuki at tier 6 is just so awful. Oh, I get detected. Great. Pop my smoke.
Smoke generator started.
I don't want them knowing exactly what I'm doing. So, let's see here. I see the Phoenix. It's coming up. And the thing is that when they know a destroyer is there, they will oftentimes come right after him. I activate my engine boost because of those destroyers, and I think that if they come around and torp me, I'm going to need to be able to move from my current position as quickly as possible, which is why I pop my speed boost. Because I figure, since they know I'm here, they're going to be coming right after me. That's what I would do. So the only person who's in my range of these short-range torps is that Phoenix, but he's not coming around the corner, except he is. Most excellent. See the indicator slow down, launch the torps, and hope they hit, because if they don't, I'm screwed. Take a little shots at the Wyoming to make it think that I'm shooting at him, and sure enough, one down. Alright, well that was my, well, I wouldn't say my biggest threat, but definitely a big threat. That Clemson is, oh, there he is too, is my biggest threat. Light the battleship on fire. That'll tick up. Let's see, you got the Minakaze over here. Backing up in front of a smoke cloud. I'd consider going after him, but then the Gnevny shows up. He's much closer and a much easier shot and didn't pop smoke, so I'm gonna go after him. Nope, I'm detected. I got some two shots on that guy. Torpedoes aren't reloaded yet. He's gonna fire torps at me. He hasn't fired his guns. So I turn away. There they are. And try to dodge them. Okay. 2 down. Oh, more torps, more torps. See if I can get some more shots on this guy.
Engine boost deactivated.
Oh, my engine gets taken out. Go ahead and repair that. Hopefully this guy doesn't take out my engine with his next volley.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
Take Kamikaze, I should definitely control this fight. I am half health though. And I miss.
Torpedoes to starboard.
And he fired torps at me, which I easily avoid because they weren't even in the same zip code.
Torpedoes to starboard.
Sets me on fire though, which is irritating because I just used my repair.
Our victory is inside.
But for some reason he turns closer. And that's a mistake. So he actually threads the needle there, going a little bit faster than I thought.
Torpedoes to port.
More torps.
Torpedoes astern.
And those are definitely panic torps.
Torpedoes astern.
He knows he's done.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
That's 4. Can I get the Kraken?
Our victory is in sight.
So, alright, I see the Hiei and the Wyoming. And the Hiei is going near cover. The Wyoming's in open water. If I want to go after the Wyoming, I'm going to A, have to compete with those our 2 friendly destroyers that are going after him. And I'm going to have to charge open water in the meantime. And I really don't want to do that, so what I'm doing here is I'm going towards the Hiei, because like I said, he's going near cover, and hopefully if I'm fast enough I can surprise him. He's currently focused on that Phoenix. Let's see, am I going to be fast enough? It doesn't look like it, no. Ah, dang it. Well, unfortunately I get detect here, and I should have put my torps in a more of a predictive path. But I go ahead and fire them anyway. I figure he's not looking this way, maybe he doesn't react properly. These lower tiers he might still overcorrect and go right back into his course. So I go ahead and wait it out. See if any of these hit. Now, one thing I did forget to mention here is that I am using the standard consumables. That was not intentional. I apparently had forgotten to put the auto resupply on. Oh, managed to hit 2 of those torps. Excellent. Okay. He's not flooding, so he put it out. He used his repair. So if I can set him on fire... but that Wyoming's going to be a problem. Alright, let's see if I can get back into position. He seems to be going around that island. But anyway, yes, on the Clemson or any of the top further tier ships, you want to be using premium consumables because it only makes your ship that is already best in class even better. And the Clemson is one of those ships. You want to strengthen your strengths, not necessarily bolster your weaknesses. Well, the Phoenix got taken out. Not surprising considering he was in between 2 battleships. Let's see if I can do anything here, though. Get up next to the island so I can bail if he comes really close around that corner. Which I don't think he's going to do, but just in case. Okay, there he is, 5 kilometers out. Trying to wait to see if he levels out a course. Figure that's good enough. Drop the torps. Use the cover to turn around. because the Clemson has 2 torpedo launchers on each side, and you have to fire them from their respective sides. So I turn around here. In case those torps miss, I'll still have a torpedo option if he comes chasing after me. I see him, that the predictive line changes. He's dodging my torps. So those didn't work.
Smoke generator started.
I see the torpedo bombers coming, the friendly torpedoes. So I figure he's going to start turning towards them any minute now. So I fire my torps, and then I fire at him in order to get him to turn. So I want that Kraken, and I don't want the aircraft carrier to take it. So I'm trying to get him to turn in advance, but he's not doing it. Knowing that he used his repair, I'm going to try to set him on fire, but it should be coming up soon. Get one fire. Torps don't look like they're going to range. Yeah, they ranged out. He put out my fire. That's bold, especially with torpedo bombers right there. Although that seems to be a really bad drop, so he avoids that easily. Okay, good. We're still in this. I can still possibly get the Kraken. There's 8 minutes left. He's the last guy. Just try to get him on fire. That's all I can do without charging him. Alright, there's one fire. See if I can get another one. Aim at a different part of the ship. Alright, get 2 fires. Sweet. And I know he just used his repair, so I'll try to get a third one. No guarantees. And then this Minikaze comes up to take him out. And I'm like, no, 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 my Kraken. My Kraken, no. Hits him with a torp.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
And right at that point, right at the point after he hits the torp, my 2 fires tick. And I get the last kill for a last second Kraken. I cannot believe that happened. And I figured you guys would get a kick out of this. But anyway guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Thanksgiving to all those who participated. And on that note, I do want to say, the things that I am definitely thankful for, of course my friends and family who've helped me out during this time. Without them I'd be homeless. But and in a very bad spot actually. Yeah, going through the things that I've gone through recently. Without my friends and family, I don't know if I would have made it. But one thing I do want to say is, you guys have always been there, even when you didn't know it. And one thing that I've always been thankful for is waking up and seeing comments, seeing views, saying that I can still do something that people enjoy. And that means a lot. You guys really don't know how much it means to be able to do something, anything, and have it be appreciated when you can't do anything anymore. So guys, thank you very much for that. Thank you for making my days a little bit brighter when I needed hope. I appreciate that. But anyway guys, that's it for today's episode. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy Black Friday if that's a thing where you're at. And try not to punch anybody. But anyway guys, I'll catch you later. Peace. All of them. We're ready to enter the atmosphere. Oh shit!